Understand the consequences. Once the root causes of the problem have been identified, we need to understand the consequences or effects of the problem. We need to know what would happen if the short-term and the long-term effects of the problem are not resolved in due time. A problem might have more than one effect. For example, a problem can have consequences on the budget, the schedule, quality, and team motivation. Long-term consequences can include loss of trust and credibility from donors and stakeholders. Understanding the effects of the problem is a similar process as the identification of root causes. Using a similar chart to map the short-term and long-term consequences can help identify the severity of the problem and help develop measures to solve the problem and reduce its impact on the project. The identification of the short-term effects helps identify the direct consequences of the problem. Most of the time, the direct consequences are felt in the project budget, schedule, scope, and even quality. The identification of the effect needs to be quantified as possible. That will help understand the severity of the problem. The next step in the process is to identify the next level of effects. These are the long-term consequences if the problem is not solved on time. Typical effects here include a reduction in the ability of the project to deliver the expected outputs, outcomes, lower outcome targets, and even key stakeholders losing confidence in the project to achieve its impact. The final step is to evaluate the consequences and determine the impact to the project if the problem is not resolved on time. Depending on the severity of the consequences, the project and management may assign additional resources to help solve the problem and avoid the critical consequences. For example, a significant consequence might be the loss of confidence from the donor, which might jeopardize future funding to the organization. At the end of this analysis, the project leader and the team have a comprehensive understanding of the causes and the effects of the problem. This understanding facilitates the development of solutions to address the problem, reduce the impact of the short-term effects, and avoids the long-term consequences.